Look, if you want to get more lean, doing more cardio is not the answer. And I'm going to break it down so simply so that you don't have to think about it again. Now, don't take what I am saying right now as to say that you never need to do cardio. That's a lie. Cardio is going to be great for your cardiovascular health, but cardio that makes sense is going to be even better. Now, here's why. When I say cardio that makes sense, it's functional movements. So a functional movement could be like a carry, a squat, a deadlift, using certain equipment, or like a tire flip, something like that, doing sprints, sled work, things like that. Those would be functional movements. They don't have to necessarily be functional, but cardio is going to get your heart rate up. And the bigger muscle groups that you use, the more your heart rate is going to spike while you're doing this. Now, it is not the greatest idea for most people to just go ahead and start running more. The reason why is because the longer you run, the longer you're putting that stress on your body. For example, somebody that's working out, right? If you're literally, like, let's just say doing some resistance training, you're using dumbbells, right? You can only, if your workout is 30 minutes, if you really time it, right? You can't do a bench press. You can't do a squat for 30 minutes straight. So there's gonna have to be some rest and recovery in between, meaning that you can stress your muscles but also recover slightly, so that you could do more work. When you're running, right, you're just burning up calories. So this whole time your body's actually in a higher state of stress. So this means when you go to recover, you're going to have to recover for longer. So your sleep is probably going to need to be longer. And it's not a bad thing, but most people are sleep deprived already. So if you're already sleep deprived and you think that you're going to go ahead and start running and it's going to be beneficial, it's not, because now your body has even more stress to overcome, because you already have the regular stress that comes with life. But whenever you're working out, and working out is also, like I said, those functional movements and just moving weights and moving your body in general, right? You want to make sure that when you're doing that, you have adequate recovery time, right? So when you're thinking about, hey, I want to lose weight, right? You already have a lot of stresses on your body, especially if you're not eating right, if your environment isn't right, if you're not having really good thoughts, if your nutrition is all over the place, your blood sugar levels are spiking and dipping all over the place, and then you decide that with all of that going on, you're gonna go ahead and put even more stress on your body in a longer duration, like running, where it's 30 minutes straight. And let's be honest, most people don't even get to 30 minutes of running. When they're doing their cardio, they'll do an extra 10 minutes or 20 minutes of cardio, right? So you're not even getting to the burning 500 extra calories at the high end. You're probably burning anywhere from 100 to 300 calories. And this is not going to be significant enough for you to drop the weight without compromising everything else, because now that you've stretched your body at a higher level, right? Now you have to recover longer. And if you're not sleeping properly, well, I mean, you're automatically out of the races for that. So now you've turned running, which could have been a better exercise or a good exercise, you're basically bastardizing it and turning it into something that is actually harming you. Right? So you have to be careful of your energy levels, and this is why a lot of people do not see the results that they're looking for in the gym, because they're like, I'm killing it, I'm crushing it in cardio. And you see those people that are doing a lot of cardio, but their body looks the same, their body type looks the same, it looks exactly the same. That's because you're putting so much stress on your body and you're not even letting it recover, let alone that if you want a muscular body, you need to be training your muscles, not running so much. Not that running is going to burn up muscles, because I run sometimes, right? But mostly, if you want to have a more efficient running workout, it's going to be sprints, because it's going to be the most bang for your buck running workout. You're actually going to be able to develop the glutes, the hamstrings, the calves, the Achilles tendons, the hip flexors, the quads, your core, right? Your arm coordination, right? Because you're moving at the fastest pace that you can move at. When you're casually just jogging, you're keeping your heart rate high, right? for a longer duration, or you're keeping a higher heart rate for a longer duration. But then what happens when in life you suddenly need a burst of energy, right? That endurance that you're building up is not going to transfer over, right? What happens if you're helping somebody move? It's not the same. If you were lifting weights, it'd be better. That'd be a better workout to do instead of focusing on running, because now, yes, you may have more stamina for more running, but more running is not going to transfer over to many other exercises. And that's one of my next points, is that ditch the running so much because it doesn't transfer over to many other exercises besides running. If you've ever noticed, when you're in really good running shape, right, you can't just go biking and rowing and kayaking. It's not the same. You do have some cardiovascular capabilities, but running doesn't transfer over to biking. Like if you take the most elite biker and then you make them run, that doesn't transfer over. And if you take the most elite runner and then you transfer them over to a bike, that doesn't transfer over. Those they're two different types. However, if you focus on building muscle, building some functional strength, and when I say functional strength, I mean strength that you can use in other places, like really any sort of resistance training you can use in other places is going to be applicable. If you're doing a lot of squats, a lot of jumps, right, this is going to be directly applicable to how much time under tension you can generate. So if you are lifting a lot of weights, you could transfer over to running, especially if you're lifting weights doing functional patterns, right? Any sort of functional patterns, they can transfer over to other things. They can transfer over to you helping somebody move. They can transfer over to you hunting, to you hiking, to you running, to you biking, to you swimming, if you're doing resistance training exercises. But if you're just focusing on cardio, right, you're like, hey, I need to burn some extra calories and I need to get lean, and this is going to be my cardio, you could skip the over stressing of the nervous system that it's going to do. If you're going to want to burn extra calories, what you're really going to want to do is focus on your sleep, because this is going to be super important for your body recovering overall, right? And being able to rid your body of toxins, rid your brain of toxins, finally let your muscles actually repair, help damaged tissues repair, and then you can go ahead and stress the system again when you are fully repaired. That's what it is. We never really get to a point where we're fully repaired. We're constantly walking around impaired, and it's being nice saying that it's only in our sleeping habits, because it's in our eating habits, it's in our stress management habits, right? It's in so many other habits that we have that we just go over the top and try to go over the top, not realizing that keeping the stress levels down is going to be your best asset, especially while trying to make your body function better. You functioning better is not gonna, like, if you want to make your body function better, you shouldn't just keep stressing it. You should stress it and stress it some more. Then take a nice break until you recover, right? And it's not that you work out one time a week, right? That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that you want to stress your system, then give it proper and adequate rest. And that proper and adequate rest is going to be deep sleep. There are things that you could do to optimize sleep, and that's another video. I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole on that. But you need to sleep more, and the sleeping more would be you going to bed earlier, not you sleeping longer, because the beginning of your sleep is normally the best part of the sleep, when you're getting the best detoxes and the best rebuilding. The beginning of your sleep, the first couple of hours, are going to be the best. So at least if you're going to add more sleep in, you want to go to sleep earlier. But doing that and then doing your resistance training or functional training or cross training, it's not that you can't run, it's that you need to have variety. You need to have some sort of variety and things to transfer over. If your only means of exercising was just running, right, and you wanted a lean body with muscle on it, that wouldn't happen, because if you look at the most elite runners, right, that are running for a long period of time, they look very skinny and they don't have much muscle mass because their body adapted to the situation. But if you look at somebody like a sprinter, right? A sprinter does running, but they don't run nearly as long. They actually have a lot more rest in their body. And what do you see? You see that their muscles are much more defined. They actually have bigger muscles, right? Because their training is completely different. So don't just, especially because the summer's about to come up, don't just run to extra cardio, right? Actually pay attention to your rest and get some good resistance training in. Not that you can't get cardio in, but you need to focus on something other than just running for 20 minutes. If you're gonna run, let's sprint it out. Let's actually get something done and let's do some sprints. So I'm gonna stop this rant here, but I really wanted you guys to know that running more is not gonna help you as much as you think it is. If anything, it's gonna harm you more. So with that in mind, just pay attention to the next videos. If you've got this far in a video, you probably would like some of my other content. So definitely check out the link down below. You can check out our website, and also you can see all the other YouTube videos and the different rants or information that I give out to people regarding your health and wellness. I want people to be as healthy as possible, and for them to know that they are in control of their body, right? You want to be one of those foremost experts in your body. If you keep outsourcing it to other people, other experts, you're not going to get the type of care that you need. So I want to empower people to be able to know about their own health, for them to be able to demystify all of this information and actually put applicable things into play, and then go ahead and test it out for yourself and see if it works or not. Don't just keep following the masses, because honestly, the masses, if you follow the masses, you're gonna end up like the average person. And right now, the statistics are not looking good. 70% of America is overweight, 42% is obese, and about I forgot, I want to say it's 40-ish% of America has one chronic disease. So if you want to be average, that's what you're going to get. So let's please move far away from those things and lock in on becoming way greater than that average mark, because honestly, those average numbers that I just described, those are actually diseased numbers, and that's scary for our population. So I want to help as many people as possible avoid that, like the plague, avoid that. So all the information that I'm attempting to give out is going to be strictly on how do you feel better inside of your body, how do you thrive and not just end up like the normal masses and those numbers that I just described earlier. So definitely subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.